trying to make my bedroom look a lot nicer because I currently, like, my bedroom is our old garage. We kind of had it renovated and it's not particularly well done. I don't have any skirting boards, my floor is concrete, and I still don't have a door, but here we are. So instead of getting a door, I decided to do something that I can do myself because I'm terrible at DIY. The other week, we drilled a hole in the wall with using a screwdriver, a knitting needle, and a tent peg. It actually worked particularly well, and we were able to get the TV aerial from the bedroom into like the study. It's actually a third bedroom, but it also doubles as our dining room. Okay, like, don't question it. Anyway, that worked successfully and we didn't electrocute ourselves, so that pretty much sums up my DIY skills. Anyway, I thought a good idea would be to paint the iconic, more like infamous black glass TV stand. This is actually the third one in our house. I have one in the actual garage part of the garage, just floating around, and we have one in our living room as well. So we have quite a few black glass TV stands. So I figured if I messed it up, I could just look on Facebook Marketplace and everyone's begging you to get rid of theirs. So that's my plan, is to paint this. I haven't exactly decided what colour. I figured to start with, I'm just going to try and paint as much of it as I can white, because everything in my room is either white or it is, the only other wood tone I have is like that light golden wood, which I have on like my wardrobe and some picture frames, and the exposed door frame that has no door. So I figured I've got to change this if I want it to fit in, so I'm hoping I might not do the top black. I was white. I was possibly thinking I could maybe have some sticky back plastic on it, but I've got to find the correct shade of wood sticky back plastic, and if I can't find the right shade of sticky back plastic, then I'm just going to paint it white. And I've got these pillars here, which I'm also thinking maybe I could do it pink or green to blend in with the rest of my room, but for starters I'm just going to try and paint it white and then see where I go from there, because it may work terribly or it may not work at all. But I did test out the paint that I had on a glass bottle and it stuck, but I could scrape it off with my nail, so I figured I'm gonna have to varnish it as well, and I need to buy varnish. But here I am with like half a tin of small paint, which I don't actually have with me right now, but we'll see how far that gets us. Honestly, trying to get the angle right for like this entire video was incredibly painful. My tripod is not very good, and I should get a new one. Like, it screws on and then you do it up lefty loosey, righty tighty, and it falls off every so often, and it's just very awkward. And in every single clip of me talking in front of the TV, the angle is completely different. In the last clip, my forehead is cut off, so it looks like I've got an 8 head. It's fantastic. I should really get a new one. I should also really get a mic if I'm gonna start doing this a bit more seriously. Don't really know how to find a proper YouTube niche at the moment because I don't really want to do long form content. Right, I think that's me done for today. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm not sure quite how it looks on camera, but I'm quite pleased with the coverage. Obviously, I can't get to the back very well because it is against the wall. At some point I will move it into the middle of the room or something and get the back, but for now, bit by bit it's gonna take me a while, probably all this week, to just bit by bit, coat by coat, get it done. I had to move like everything that was on the bottom away. That was like, I have a random tub of like old phones. Like, I have, what is this? So my DS's, in little bags. All my games. I got like old phone cases, random chargers. I'm sure my old phones are in here somewhere. Oh, this was like one of my mum's old phones. I don't know what the hell's gone on with the battery there, but I remember when she first got this, I was like amazed at the size of it, and it's still a pretty big phone, but like the touchscreen feels so different already, and just it was a good sized phone, but the battery seemed to have problems, so I think it's leaking. That's a bit concerning. Oh well. There's all sorts of weird stuff in here. I'm never going to be short of plugs. I've got loads of stuff. The thing is, with iPhones these days, when I got my new phone, it didn't come with like anything. It came with a charger that I can't use because I don't have a plug that it will fit into. So, like, that was great. Oh, little headphone things as well. Got them into my headphones. Can I open this still? Like, it came with a charger that has like a USB type C or whatever the hell. The Samsung charger on one end, and then the Apple charger on the other end. It's like, but it doesn't come with the block for you to put the charger in, so you can't actually use it. Good thing I'd already bought a spare charger. But yeah, I've just got a box full of phones. And then of course I have my old laptop and my old Xbox. I use the Xbox in here still when like my boyfriend comes over because I can put DVDs in it, which is great, and I can plug the laptop into the TV as well. So I think I have an aerial as well for the TV because Eurovision was on and we actually were doing well in it, so I watched it. And I stayed up till like midnight watching the results, and that's like the only time I've actually watched TV in it. Otherwise it's YouTube or anime or something. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably next time. I felt like the first coat was pretty good coverage, and I brought it into our living room to paint it in the warm, and it was going really well until like suddenly it wasn't going very well, and the paint started like coming up like this, you can see here, and it was just, I don't know why it was doing that, but eventually we got the second coat done and we let it dry, and it was just going to take a little bit more extra effort to go over all these weird flaky off bits. While it was drying, we decided to go ahead with the sticky back plastic. I managed to find the exact shade I was looking for, so I'm really happy about that, and it matches everything perfectly. However, sticky back plastic is very difficult, but it turned out okay-ish. In order to prevent the paint from scraping off when you hit it with your nail, I got this quick dry gloss out and just went over everything. It was a bit awkward because I had to look in the lighting to see if it was shiny or not and go over it, and it led to some strange texturing, but overall it turned out okay. Before I put the TV stand back, I just wanted to paint behind the wall because there's been some paint splatter from the floor paint and some anti-mold paint and a bit of mold that I just wanted to paint over. One of the doors into the garage leaks a bit, and it's fixed now, but some of the mold behind the bed is just like never been painted over, so I've sort of tried to paint that over a bit. At last, I could finally move it back in position. After a week or so on the floor, the TV finally returned to its natural habitat, the TV stand. And I no longer had a load of chargers, wires and Xboxes all over the floor, so that was much appreciated. I finally did it. It only took like, I don't know, a week, maybe a bit longer than that actually. I'm only working 3 days of the week at the moment because we got screwed over by a big company, and they're, basically trying to get rid of us all. But it's been really cold, and I moved it into the house to paint it, and then my mum's been working different hours to me, and you need 2 people to lift this, so it kind of stayed in there for a bit longer than it should have, and then I was working again, so I couldn't film this bit, and then, but yeah, it's done. When we did this, we actually did a lot more sticky back plastic. We did the freezer, we did another table that we tried to upcycle. We got it at a car boot sale for £3. Thought we'd paint it, but then the paint we used didn't work very well and you couldn't clean it, so it got really dirty. So we thought we'd sticky back plastic it and it looked much better. However, this was the first thing we did. And as a result, it's got a lot of little air bubbles in it. Even though it seemed fine at the time, we looked back and we were like, what's happened there? So, luckily, you can't see much of it. So, you can't really tell. I mean, I can feel them right now, but it's fine. The freezer and the table look much better, but we'd had some practice at that point, so look, when it comes to me doing DIY, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be a tiny bit better, and I think this is an improvement. One thing I'm also thinking of doing is maybe decorating the frame of the TV a little bit, which might be a bit cringe, but also, who cares? It's about expressing your personality, and if my personality is cringe, then so be it. I'm perfectly fine with that. So, let me know if you have any ideas. I was kind of thinking maybe I could do the ivy around the sides, or maybe like a feather boa, or just kind of fluffy. Maybe I could balance some plushies on the top. I don't think that's going to stay, but maybe I could potato it. I've got lots of potatoes now. Like, I don't use this telly very often. I pretty much only use it when my boyfriend comes over, so none of this is actually plugged into the power source here, but it can be when it's needed. So my cable management's pretty good really, because none of them are going anywhere. Yeah, please let me know if you have any ideas on how I should decorate the TV, what I should do with it. This remote also doesn't actually work, but I only have one button and I just move the HDMI around, so it's fine. Yeah, please let me know your ideas, because I'm really pleased with this. I feel like it's sort of one of the final steps in making this place sort of how I want it, and yeah, I'm pleased how it turned out, even if it's kind of messy. So you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be slightly better.